on Slimehouse TV. Myself, Theo Kane, back again at HorrorCon UK, just with the legendary Nicholas Vince. Nicholas, have you found the con so far? I know you was like a last-minute guest. We brought you in last minute, and it seemed to be very popular. Have you found it yourself?
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. Because one is always nervous when you're brought in at the last minute because you think, well, no one's going to really know that I'm here. And you've got to organise kids and sitting or whatever to actually come out and sing. I was blown away because it's just like, it's the busiest I've been. This is my first convention in 3 years. It's been delightful. But I mean, it's not just the fact that so many people wanting to talk to me and chat, come to the table, but just it's such a lovely atmosphere. I really, really enjoyed myself.
So out of all the stuff you've done, it seems to be the Clive Barker stuff that people really flaunt to the con for. Can you tell us a little bit about Clive Barker, even though you've answered this question a million times, for the sake of our viewers at Slimehouse, like legendary Clive Barker, what was it like to work with him, and how did you even get hooked up with him in the first place?
He was a friend. I met him at a party. He asked me to do modelling for him. So I modelled for his painted versions of the Books of Blood. Then one day he came along and said, "Nick, would you like to do a film? There is some makeup involved." And so that was it. That was Hellraiser. What does he like to work with? Joy, absolute joy. I was talking an interview I've just been doing. It's like having conversations with Clive is like it just opens your mind because he makes you think. I was Las Vegas with him in 2019. Where I was doing my one-man show, and he'd come along to see it. And we're travelling back to the airport, suddenly out of the blue, "So Nick, what do you think about abortion?" Well, to be honest, as a gay man, I'd like, I don't think I do have an opinion. I don't think it's women's bodies, they should, etc. And it's just like, okay, I'm now having to think really, really hard and come up with an intelligent answer to this question and really think about it. I think that's one of the great joys of working with Clive. He is so intelligent that you just have to raise your game whenever you're talking to him.
And you did 2 films with him, Hellraiser and Nightbreed.
Yes, as a director, yes. So obviously Hellbound was based on his idea.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course, you did Hellraiser 2 as well. Chatterer comes back.
Yeah. So, 3 films with him, and I've written Hellraiser comics, I've written Nightbreed comics, I've written short stories based on his work, and so on. Yeah, he's a huge, huge part of the influence, artistic influence in my life.
Because it's definitely been that, like, you started out as an actor in the horror world, but then using that as a springboard to take yourself into writing. You wrote, was it Marvel Comics you wrote Hellraiser for?
I wrote, Epic Comics, which was part of Marvel.
That in itself, if that's all you'd done, that was still such an amazing thing to have done, but that, like, one of many things.
Well, thank you very much indeed. I was talking to Clive about this recently, and we just saying how grateful we are, and I'm grateful to Clive for having created all things and given me these opportunities, which is one of the things I really like doing, talking to a lot of young filmmakers. When I came back to acting, I took a long break away from acting, discovered there was a whole generation of young filmmakers who were influenced by Hellraiser and Nightbreed and inspired by these things. So this exposed me to people like Katie Bonham and Andy Stewart and some really, really talented young filmmakers, Paul and Stuart from Book of Monsters, and I'm going to forget people, please, apologies to anyone. I'm leaving Anthony.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long, lots and lots of wonderful people. And I just think Clive gave me such an exciting opportunity, and I'm always interested in working with young people and doing as much as I can to kind of pay it forward, because I think I've been extraordinarily lucky, amazingly privileged, and I think this is what I like about the horror community is that everybody is there, everybody has got everybody else's backs.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that in the horror community. Yeah. And as somebody, like you said, you took a bit of a break from acting, but you're still doing stuff now, so you're working with different directors. What do you think, out of all the directors that you've worked with, always makes a good director?
Somebody who listens. I think it was best summed up by Lynn Shay from Insidious, who I interviewed beginning of last year. And she said, a good film set is a safe place to tell the truth. And I think that's what's exciting, is when, as an actor, you feel safe, you feel confident that you're, because honestly, it's really easy to make a fool of yourself, and you often feel you're making a fool of yourself, and you have all these doubts and insecurities when you're acting. And I was talking to Julian Sands about this last night. It's like, you need somebody just to ignore all that crap, because we all got it, and just make you feel safe, so you can go out and be brave and strong and so on, and experiment and fail successfully. You just, okay, that didn't work. Okay, well, should we try this then? And so on. So yeah.
Definitely, I love that. I love that. As an actor, then, what would your advice be to somebody that's like wanting to get into acting? Because I suppose you didn't come in the regular way. If there is a regular way, you met Clive and you did it that way. What would your advice be to someone?
Well, I went to drama school.
Okay, we didn't even get into that, of course.
No, I went to drama school with Simon Blandford. It is a lot to do with opportunity. It's a lot to do with the people you meet. There's no question. It's just about dumb luck a lot of the time. What is my advice? If you, again, talking to Julian Sands about this last night, actors love it. We just want to work. And I was saying, my problem is that I just want to do everything. I want to write, I want to direct, I want to do plays, I want to do stage shows, I want to do one-man shows. I don't want to, and it's not just act, I mean only act. I want to, and it's like, Clive doesn't just write and direct, he does amazing art as well.
Yeah, I've been to his exhibition, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely extraordinary. So my advice to young people, listen, find a local amateur society. At school, if they offer you drama, take it. I think drama is a really good class for everybody, because it teaches you a lot about interacting with people and trusting people, and just how to be as a human being. And then, if you still love it, go out and do some amateur stuff. Do shows, get yourself on stage. We all start on stage. I think the interesting thing these days, of course, is there's a lot more opportunity to do film. When I was starting out, there were no camera phones. There were no cheap, you couldn't just take a camera and make a film with your mates. I mean, you could, people did do 16mm and Robert Rodriguez started out like that. So yes, that did happen. But the ability now to go out and do film. But I think working as an ensemble with a theatre company, doing stuff, having to remember the lines, having to know your mark, having to be able to repeat it, having to learn how to trust the other people on stage, so that it's like a tennis match. Malcolm McDowell was talking about this in the car last night. You want it to be a tennis match. I'm going to give you my line. How are you going to take it? How are you going to react to it? Oh, you reacted like that. Okay, slightly different from what you did last night. That's not a problem. Oh, that means my character would now think about this. And so those are the skills that you kind of learn. And those are the things that make acting really interesting as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, just do as much as you can and just keep on going at it. And then if at the end of the day you thought, actually, you know what? I love this, but I don't want to have the pressure of earning a living from it. And then the other thing is, just have lots of second, third bows, call them pay the rent jobs. Just have other skills that you can keep yourself going between jobs.
It's interesting you said something there as well, because when I interviewed Doug Bradley when he was at HorrorCon, who obviously you work with in Hellraiser and things, a friend of yours, he says that acting is the only thing where you need someone else in order for you to do it. If you want to paint, you get a canvas, you get paint, you do it. You want to write, you write. But when it comes to acting, you actually need somebody to give you the opportunity to act.
Yes. Well, and again, that's really interesting, because I did a one-man show. Even doing a one-man show, I had to hire a director. I hired a sound guy. I was really, really lucky. A very talented lighting guy wanted to get involved, and he generously gave up. He works at the Royal Opera House. He's an amazing guy. He's also an amazing singer. And
shouts to that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You do need it. even if it is a one-man show. And honestly, you need an audience. As an actor, you need an audience. I think more, as a writer, you need an audience, you need readers, etc., for it to work. But yeah, I think more so as an actor, we all create our opportunities. Shakespeare was a company man. He worked with a company of actors. He wrote for the company of actors that he was part of, and so on. So yeah, it's a collaboration of people, whatever it is you do as an actor.
All great advice. It's been wicked to talk to you. Just before we wrap this up, I know you've got so much going on yourself with your writing, your podcasting and anything like that. Where can people keep up to date with your podcasts? Because you've got some phenomenal guests on there. Right. Like it's crazy, some of the guests that you've got on that show. When I flicked through it last night on YouTube, I was like, wow, this guy's got some good guests.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Okay, so the most recent YouTube show is the thing called The Chattering Hour.
Good name.
Yeah, I know. You'll find it on the Chris Rowe Management channel page on YouTube, but if you just look for The Chattering Hour with Nicholas Vince, you'll find it. And amazing, and great advice. If you really want to know about, because people were very honest about the way they're doing. What else am I up to at the moment? We announced a couple of weeks ago I'm going to be filming my one-man show, I Am Monsters. That hopefully is going to be in the next couple of months. We're just trying to nail down the final dates and so on. And then, yeah, I mean, I've been talking about doing my third volume of short stories for something like 5 years now. I keep on thinking, I really should sit down and do that. But yeah, so that's the other thing that's going on at the moment as well.
Well, we look forward to it, and it's been awesome to talk to you. Thanks so much, Nicholas. And we'll let you get back to your table. HorrorConUK, Slimehouse TV, Theo K, Nicholas Vince. Boom.
Boom, boom.
Nice one, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.